guys, this is Brad from Max Rarity coming at you guys with another Marshadow list. But this one's a little bit different. This is kind of an anti-meta, energy denial, everything list. So let's get started. So obviously this deck is focused around Marshadow. I only got 2 at the pre-releases, so I'm getting another one soon. So 3 Marshadow. Marshadow is obviously going to be the main attacker, and it's really good in this format, especially with Dark becoming a thing again. We'll probably see a lot of places where Marshadow can actually do a lot of damage. Next Pokemon is 3 Tapu Lele, which I think at this point is probably very much a staple. People were playing 2 Lele when we had Shaman, but now that Shaman is out of the format, we're most likely going to see 3 Lele as part of everyone's deck now. Almost. 2 Glaceon. Obviously for evolution Pokemon, it didn't rotate, which made me very happy. I love this card in the format, especially with a lot of evolutions out there. I think it is just really good, and it's good meta call if you can tech it in there to something. Some things can't. Sometimes you just really can't play it. Next Pokemon, obviously, since you saw the last one, we're running 2 Jolteon. Obviously, same thing for basics. We are running the 1 Espeon just because it is an evolution-heavy format. Obviously, at some times, it's not going to be good, but it's definitely not bad to keep in there. And last but not least, running out of Pokemon, you may think this one's a little weird, but I personally like it. It's Tapu Fini. I like this in water. I think its GX attack is just really good. And obviously with some of these, like, you can use, with Marshadow you have the Peerless 100 Blows, which is 50 times every basic energy. Then you have Tapu Cure, and not a bad card obviously, but this Tapu Storm, if you need it, can just really set back the game for your opponent, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Obviously put them several turns behind by maybe Guzmaning out a Marshadow, and then go from there. Next for our supporter line, let me get all my supporters, make it a little easier. We have 1 Ninja Boy, just to get into the Marshadow as quick as you can. 2 Kukui. Obviously, just hit those numbers that sometimes you may need to hit. 2 Lana. So, one of the big things that we're doing in this deck is we're running Rainbow Energy. So this allows you to heal any Pokemon with a water, and since it counts it as water, healing 50 is definitely not bad. We are running 2 Plumeria, which, for those who don't know, it's discard 2 cards, and then if you do, discard an energy from your opponent's Pokemon. So obviously we need things in the discard for Marshadow. So this helps us get things in the discard. Same thing with the next one. So we do have 2 Sophocles. It's just a draw supporter that you can discard with, which makes things a little bit easier for the Marshadow play. 2 Guzma. That's pretty much probably going to be what's standard in the format. 4 Team Flaregrunt. Really just a lot of energy denial in this deck to really boost up the fact that, oh, hey, there's the Marshadow, yay! 4 Sycamore. I still like Sycamore, especially in this deck where it is discarding. It allows you to get them there quickly, and then to round out 4N for when you have a necessarily not the best hand, and you do need to keep what you have in hand. Next, we're going to go on to our item lineup. So we actually don't have a lot of items. We're just not running a lot in this particular deck. You don't really need it. Just basically running the staples. So like we have like 1 Rescue Stretcher, 2 Choice Band. I may find a way to kick it up to a 3rd. I haven't decided yet. I'm mostly running 2 in all of my decks. I'm always looking to like I wasn't running Rescue Stretcher in a lot of things, So now it's just kind of one of those things where, like, I was running 3 choice bands, so I just switched out the 3rd for the rescue stretcher just to fit it in there. 2 field blower. 3 floats down. Even though we do have the Guzma, I just like having the 3 float there, just because, you know, you never know when you're going to need it. 4 Ultra Ball, because Ultra Ball is good. It's also another Discord outlet. And then we have 4 Brooklet Hell. Because it does work for the Marshadows, it works for the Glaceon, or the Tapu Fini, which means obviously we're not really Ultra Balling for a lot of other things. Which I like. I like that. I like there's not a lot of stuff in here that you have to necessarily Ultra Ball for, which makes it easier to keep an Ultra Ball in hand for the Garb matchup. And then onto our energies, we have 4 DCE, 4 Rainbow, put those there, and then 1 Lightning, 1 Water. So this is obviously for post-rotation. I was originally going to be running Steven, just to be able to hit that lightning, hit that electric energy, or hit that water energy whenever really you need it. Because there are some times when I'm like, oh, it's like you're searching for it. Especially if people are playing a Disruption deck where they're getting, like, Drop F, for example. It's still a good card, especially in this format, even with Marshadow out. So, like, they're going to be getting rid of your energies. And maybe, like, you actually don't play the rainbows. And you just play the lightning and the water energies, and you do 3-3. That's also another way to play the deck. I just like the rainbow in there personally because you can just do 1 in a DC, like 1 rainbow and 1 DCE, and then a Marshadow is ready for any of these attacks. It doesn't matter what they are, which ends up being just really good in my opinion. I think this has a lot. One of the big things, like, we're losing is just some, like, we're losing Hex, which maybe something that helps this deck out, which is a little sad, but obviously, like, you know, it's still a pretty good deck in the format. I think that with the format changing over, a deck like this may be somewhat the way to go, just for the first little bit. And obviously, like, if you're an expanded, you can run Battle Compressors, and it still makes this a very viable deck. Because you can just go, Battle Compressors, Sand Jolteon, Sand Glaceon, Marshadow, there we go. And then you're just ready to hit whatever you need to hit. And it just is really good against pretty much anything. The one problem that you are going to have is Ninetales. The new Alolan Ninetales, you actually do not have an out for that in this deck. So it's just kind of one of those things where hopefully you can Guzma around it. Hopefully you can get around that some way. I have thought about putting in other things just for that particular matchup. I have thought about maybe possibly putting in when Hoopa comes out, the one that does have that as well, putting just one of those in here. Just for that particular matchup, because it's going to be rough. I don't know how much Ninetales is going to be seen played, but with Volcanion up there, due to Metagross having a very big presence in the format, and it just being really good, it's still going to stand its own against Gardevoir, which is really important. This deck is great against Gardevoir. You just kind of, 1 Marshadow, 1 Glaceon, just kind of just sits there and wins the game. Like, you don't have to do anything else. Just go, here you go, like, you can't hit me. And then if they decide to put a Lele out, then that's where you just go, well, here's a Jolteon attack. You can't hit me now either. And when you're two-shotting a Lele with, obviously you're going to do Jolteon first so they can't hit you back, and then you do, hopefully you're able to hit the Glaceon at that point. So, there's my list, everybody. I really hope you like it. This is one of the decks that I'll be playing this format along with Alolan Ninetales. I think they're just really big contenders of the format, Marshadow, I think, really changes the game. It allows you to pull stunts like this and it be okay. It makes cards like Sophocles, which may have only had really good fit in places like Darkrai, or even Ninetales for them, for example. Just discard 2 energy, draw 4 cards, then Aqua Patch back is pretty good. There is a lot of energy denial on this deck, so it's kind of a way to just kind of get things where they need to be. I like it. Tell me what you think. Leave your comments in the description. Share, like, subscribe, all that jazz. And may your lives be as max rarity as my decks, which this one is not as max rarity as I would like it to be, just because I wasn't able to get the Guzmas or the Full Art supporters yet. But I'm working on it. Give me time. And obviously, if any of my decks change, I will be showing you those in the future. All of you have a great day.